Welcome to Ed 522, Curriculum Design and Change. I'm Dr. Amy Belcastro, and I'm looking forward to working with you this quarter and in the MSED program. I serve as the MSED coordinator and advise in the adult learning and general studies concentrations. I've been at SOU since 2002 and have been working in the field of education since 1999 in a variety of areas from K-12, community colleges, teacher education, higher ed. At a state level, I've been involved in policy development, curriculum design, assessment, and accreditation. I'd like to take this opportunity to provide an overview of the course and hopefully answer some questions you might have. Ed 522 has been designed to serve our very diverse learning community. We're made up of educators who work with early childhood, public school children and teens, young adults, and adults in our public and private sectors. The purpose of this class is to engage you in applying 21st century knowledge and skills into your own instructional decisions and practices. You'll be introduced to learning theories, 21st century practices, and curricular design approaches. In this course, I hope to challenge you to consider the critical question: how do we prepare our learners to be successful in their future when our present is so rapidly changing? We're going to be examining processes and content and assessments really related to your spectrum of curriculum relevant in your own professional arena. With this in mind, the textbook for this class, although written for a K-12 professional, is very current and relevant for all learners. After reviewing a number of options, I found this to truly be the best aligned to our learning outcomes for this course. Because the diverse learning backgrounds and goals of the learners in this course is so vast, and because it's a graduate course, you will be required to research, translate, and apply these new skills and knowledge into your own practice. I have supplemented throughout where I found it lacking, and you'll have the opportunity to take the information provided and really extend it through your own research and with your own learners in mind. So what does it mean to teach 21st century skills? Well, in order to help our learners be successful for their future, we need to think about those transferable skills that are going to be required regardless of the changes in technology and the changes in knowledge. These things are creativity, communication, problem solving, being literate in our digital world, being global citizens, and really being lifelong learners because things are changing so rapidly. This course is a core course, and it's aligned to the MSED program goals. And although we do address all 5 program goals in this course, we really spend the majority of the time focusing on the first program goal, which is to explore and translate learning theory, innovative curriculum design, and 21st century skills into instructional decisions and practices to address the educational challenges and opportunities of today and tomorrow. The learning outcomes for this course, again, are directly related to the first program goal. And the learning outcomes are applying 21st century curriculum approaches, theories, and learning models to instructional decisions and practices. Analyze the emerging policies, trends, and practices that influence educational design and student learning. Incorporate systematic thinking and instructional design models to their personal practice of curriculum design, and participate in a professional learning community of educational designers. As you can see, all of these are fairly broad, and what we will be focusing on and you will be asked to do is really translate and apply these into your own professional practice. When you review the syllabus, which I'm hoping you have already done so, but if not, please do so immediately after. There you will see there are some major assignments and how the grading is set up. There are 5 areas: explore, reflect, practice, collaborate, and then the final. I'm going to take a few minutes to go over how the major assignments and the grading is set up. You'll see 25% of the class is with this category called Explore, which are 3 short research papers that you're going to be required to write. Each paper is 40 points, and there is a rubric that you can see below the syllabus in our Moodle site. This allows you to go deeper into a topic with a focus on your own educational area and learners. These papers are 5 to 6 pages long, 3 to 4 pages really in writing, additional page for a reference, and another page for a cover page. So 3 to 4 pages in writing isn't very long, and honestly, sometimes it's more difficult to be concise in our writing than verbose. The second, reflect. This is an opportunity to really reflect on our own beliefs and our own practices from our own perspectives, professionally speaking. This is one we will do. For example, in week 1, you're asked to discuss how educators can provide equitable learning experiences to our diverse learners in our ever-changing world, and to address the role's 21st century skills and habits of mind play in this pursuit. So you will have wanted to do the reading prior to jumping into any of these assignments, and I'll explain really how to be successful in the course and its organization in a little bit further on. Every discussion topic you will see is that there's an initial response that's due Thursday of that week by 11 p.m. And you will be asked to respond to 2 classmates that same week by Sunday. This allows time to read through and respond and give everyone kind of a basic structure to follow. The last is practice, and I'm going to spend a little bit more time on that. That actually is the majority of the class. If you look at the grading, it builds up about 50% of the class. So, what are the practice assignments? You will see in the syllabus at the end, every week there is a practice assignment, which is really applying what we're doing through the curricular design process. An example you'll see here, and you'll see this for every week. The first week we'll be looking at building a learner profile and really identifying our content goals. So you'll see the list of requirements, and this will build actually on another assignment that you're doing that week under your Explore. You'll also see the list of criteria that's being asked for each week. Again, I really encourage you to take a look at the whole practice assignments, because for the final in this class is going to be refining and extending the work that you've been working on every week throughout the class and putting it together with all the feedback incorporated as a final assignment. Collaborate. This is the opportunity to really engage in peer review and feedback. There's strong research that shows that social presence plays a really important role in enhancing cognitive presence, which indirectly increases social interaction and deeper discussions. We know as educators that real understanding comes when we have the opportunity to work with each other, and then an opportunity to refine and extend our work. So although I encourage you to collaborate with your peers in this class or outside of this course on all of the assignments, practice assignments, you'll have 4 times that you're required to do so. This is really an extension of the practice assignments. You'll be given feedback from your peers, and it will take the same format as our discussion posts. So you'll be asked to post a draft of that practice assignment by Thursday. You may not be complete with your assignment, but you'll want to put forth whatever you have completed so you can get really constructive feedback from your peers. Then your final practice assignment is always due on Sunday. So hopefully you'll get some good, positive, constructive feedback that you can extend and revise before you post your assignment. Once you post your assignment on Sunday, you'll be given feedback from your instructor. For each of our 4 areas that we will be working with, exploration papers, reflection discussions, collaboration on our practice and our actual practice assignment, you will see a rubric for each of those under our Moodle, in our Moodle under the syllabus. Again, the final is going to be refining and pulling together the work that you've done in all of your practice with the support of the collaboration opportunities. Your exploration papers are times to go deeper that will influence and help inform your practice assignments, as will our reflection discussions. So, how to be successful in Ed 522? Start by looking at the syllabus, looking at the overview for the class, and getting the textbook if you haven't already done so. For each week, you will want to start with the week overview and read the introduction, the course objectives, and the assignment schedule. After that, I would take a look at the week's lecture before starting on any of the other resources. In the lecture, for the most part, I'll identify key points or issues to really help you know where to slow down and focus in reading and reviewing the materials. Some weeks I will provide more of a true online lecture supplementing a skill that I feel could be reinforced. For example, writing observable learning objectives later in the course. Some of you are really familiar with that, and others, this may be something new. So again, you're going to need to lean in the areas that you feel less familiar with. I will also provide additional resources if in areas that may be unfamiliar for some folks. Lastly, is if you have any questions, we do have an announcement section where you can post questions, and either I or Danny, our instructional coach, will get back to you. Number 3, note that all reflection or collaborations on the practices are always due on Thursday. I mentioned that earlier. I just wanted to hit it again. Thursday at 11 p.m., initial reflections or your draft practices are posted when we do collaborations. Number 4, the reflection discussion responses and your collaboration responses are always due on Sunday. So anytime there's a discussion board, the first initial post is due Thursday at 11 p.m. and the final post is due Sunday of that week at 11 p.m. Also, all practice assignments or explore assignments are also due that Sunday at 11 p.m. This is a course overview for Ed 522. You'll see that it's designed to support the program goals as well as our course goals and to support you in your final assignment. We started off the first week looking at education for the 21st century and thinking of ourselves as educational designers, which is a shift in thinking around curricular design. We look at trends influencing education and 21st century skills. In week 2, we start looking at educational design models. 2 of the biggest ones influencing education and the workplace right now is ADDIE and Understanding by Design. And then we start really focusing in on what are those goals or standards that we'll be designing our Unit 2 and how do 21st century skills and habits of mind support that. Lastly, we'll be looking at enduring understandings and essential questions as a way to guide our instructional design. In week 3, we move on to responsive instructional planning, really focusing on differentiation and growth mindset. In week 4, we go on to learning and technology, learning at different types of technological tools. How do we determine and assess if it's an effective tool? And how do we help support deep learning? TPAC is a way to turn the assessment on ourselves and see how versed we are in using and selecting quality tools. In week 5, assessment that supports instruction will be the focus. We'll look at 21st century assessment practices and determine for our own professional and units